This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
I don't know if I've ever heard you swear so loudly.
Yeah, I was not okay yesterday, which was fitting because your daughter got a note sent home from school yesterday, just getting your permission, essentially, for a class where she'll learn about human sexuality and how the body works and menstrual cycles. And that was me yesterday. And we need to normalize talking about it. And Ryder was right there beside me. We were driving home. And I was not okay.
No,
Day one is very hard for some women. It is so painful.
I've learned a lot over the years, and the main thing is it doesn't help if I talk.
No.
So I go mute, and I'm helpful, and I'm calm, but I don't talk. The problem was you needed to take some meds, and you needed to eat with the meds.
Well, because they're very strong.
And you would not tell me where you wanted to eat.
Because it didn't matter. I said just anything. I just need something in my stomach. I would eat a piece of bread. And you're like, well, I don't know where to go to get bread. I'm like, I don't actually need bread.
Right. I was like, you just get me a piece of bread. I was like, that's going to take way longer than getting you a burger.
My point was anything. But then you're like, all right, I'll go to Subway. And I'm like, no, not Subway. We're not.
Well, that's a loaf of bread.
I know, but we're not parking. And then you go in and then you're in a line. I was like, hit a drive-through. Just get me something. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we got into this like fight, but not.
No, because I wasn't talking.
You said a couple things and they just rattled me. But yes, day one for some women. Just wanted to let anyone know if there's someone in your life that deals with really bad first day cramps, listen to them.
Don't talk.
But don't talk. It was rough for you. I apologize. I was a monster. Did you know that cramps are the equivalent of a heart attack? There was a man on TikTok who bought a cramp simulator machine and he hooked it up to his stomach and he's like, all right, there's 5 settings on this machine. I'm going to try and make eggs with the cramp pain. He couldn't do it past level 1.
Wow.
He had to go lay down.
No, there's no doubt. Like when I watch you go through that, it's so vividly apparent that pain is legit.
If you type in period cramps work on Twitter, the amount of women that are like, I can't believe I have to work today. Like they're keeled over in pain.
Well, when you think of like our job, relatively easy in comparison to most with that kind of pain.
Well, I picture myself here at work. I got my heat pad. I'm just sitting here with my microphone. Imagine a surgeon.
Right.
You got to go in and do surgery on somebody, life-saving surgery.
Yeah, that's why I only ask for male surgeons.
That's not funny.
I'm kidding, obviously. But, you make a really good point in the fact that, like, how is that fair? And I suppose there's certain industries where if you had someone's life in your hands and you weren't able to do the job for whatever reason, they have to have a backup plan. So let's hope that's the case with things like surgery. But yeah, no, there's no way that somebody could do their job properly with the pain you were going through yesterday. So I
actually kind of blacked out. Like I don't really remember the drive home. I do remember the stupid Subway comment though. That's about it.
No, you said you wanted bread. That's the closest.
I didn't literally mean bread.
Okay.
Play 107.
It's time for Complaint Corner, where we tee off about things. We usually do this as like a cleanse before the weekend.
It's like therapy, you know?
Mine is about my mother.
No, she's a saint.
She is, yeah, she is. So she set me up to deliver some food to my uncle.
Her brother,
for his birthday. So just picking up some steaks and the fixins.
Because she doesn't live here. He does.
Correct. And so I'm doing that today after work. She gets me on the phone last night and is like, okay, do you got a pen? And I was like, no, why? Like, I know how to grocery shop. I know what I'm getting them. She's like, no, for directions to his house, you're going to want to find that Safeway and then head north for about 3 blocks, and then there'll be a church on your left. And I'm like, Mom, as she continues to talk, I have his address saved in my phone because it's 2021. Don't need your directions. But like, for some reason, I think I can't be the only one that has parents like this. You tell them that, and they're like, in their mind, they're like, well, maybe the phone fails.
Something
and
will
then
happen.
He's going to need these directions on paper. So she just keeps going. And like, I ended up just setting the phone down and playing video games while she was trying to give me directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Anyway.
You're going to get lost today, though, I bet. Okay, my complaint today is I am so sick and tired of my brain telling me that my body isn't good enough to wear shorts yet. Why? It was 18 degrees and sunny this week. And I was like, I don't want to wear shorts. I'm insecure. For who? Who cares? Who's looking at me? Nobody cares. Oh, you got a little bit of cellulite? Everybody has cellulite. The hottest girl that went to my high school had cellulite. She wore shorts. That's how I noticed she had cellulite.
Okay.
Am I going to just die wearing pants?
Probably. Most people would die wearing pants, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen a body in a casket wearing shorts, but
True.
I'm just so sick and tired of my brain telling me I'm not ready yet. Next summer will be the year that you look good. No, it won't. Who cares?
Right.
The
Get
only thing that should be stopping me at this point is the fact that I haven't shaved. And when I do shave, I sneeze and the hair grows back. So like that also something you just got to get over.
Just go out there with those hairy ass legs and don't worry about it. The first walk out to like the public pool or whatever, sure, it's going to feel a little vulnerable. But then after that, you don't care. Nobody cares.
There are some people that have never cared, and I've always envied that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Whew, that felt good.
That felt really good.
You
All
good?
right. Yeah. Is the weather going to be nice this weekend for me to wear shorts? No?
No.
All right, perfect.
Keep the pants on.
107.
Purdue University in Indiana has some engineers who have created the whitest paint yet. And coating buildings with this paint may one day cool them off enough to help reduce the need for air conditioning, which is a great story after Earth Day, trying to curb global warming. Whatever we can do to make that happen. The researchers believe that this whitest white paint may be the closest equivalent of the blackest black, which is called Vanta Black, which absorbs up to 99.9% of visible light. The new whitest paint formulation reflects up to 98.1% of sunlight. Now, the only thing that concerns me about this is if I had a headache.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into those buildings.
Walking
Imagine
up to that house, just like, ow.
Ow, I need 2 pairs of sunglasses.
Tell me something good.
My story is about twin 4-year-old girls who wrote a letter to Santa, put it in a helium balloon, or tied it to a helium balloon, and sent it off in hopes that it might get there.
Was this recently?
Yeah, well, I think at Christmas they did it.
Oh, okay.
But recently the balloon's been found. It wasn't the North Pole that got it. It was just a couple stayed away. And they decided, you know what, we could probably check off a few of these things. The girls asked for candy, a Spider-Man ball, a Frozen doll, a My Little Pony, and a puppy.
Okay, that's a great list.
Great list.
Great list.
So they gathered, everything that wasn't living and put it together in a little care package. And then they realized they actually wanted to go all the way. So reached out to the parents, ended up tracking down like the little girl's parents and said like, are you cool if we get you a puppy? So they went and bought a little dash hound to go with the other things that they bought for this family and these 4-year-olds, and they dropped everything off on the step, and the kids are like, what?
Okay, that is next level cool.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Tell me something good.
Thank you for checking out the show. Have you ever had a moment where you're like, I'm not supposed to be here right now?
I shouldn't be here right now. Our friend Chelsea, she's called the show before. She was the girl who ordered her groceries online and accidentally ordered like 6 bundles of bananas.
Instead of 6 bananas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're loading in all of these bananas in her trunk and she's like, oh no. And I'm convinced, like that was months ago we talked to her. She's probably still eating those bananas to this day. But she always has bad luck. She has so many mishaps. Here's one of them.
Okay, so I booked a massage yesterday. I never book massages, maybe one a year. And so I went in there and the lady just said, how was your massage? And I was last time, I'm like, yeah, it was good. And then she starts the massage, and while she's massaging me, she's like, so you're really tight in your upper back? You're a fitness instructor, right? And I was like, no, I'm a nurse. And she's like, oh, weird. I thought you were. And so then she keeps going, and her boss keeps on calling her during the massage. So she's like, I'm just going to get this. And she leaves, and I can hear her talking to somebody outside the room. And then she comes back in and she's like, is your name Jasmine? No, my name is Chelsea. And she was like, I'm supposed to be massaging somebody named Jasmine. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. So she goes outside and I get up, I'm naked, I'm getting this home to check my confirmation. And I booked at the wrong place.
completely different location.
Yeah, I don't even know how I messed it up. The lady comes back in and I'm like, so funny story. I messed up this booking, like, I don't know how. And she's like, well, Jasmine's mad. Well, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you. She's like, I told you, Jasmine, when I came in. And I'm like, do you think I really would steal someone's massage had I thought I was the wrong person?
Thank you for sharing that story. That is wild. What do you got for us?
So I have one. It's not actually mine, but it's my mom and my aunt. And they were in the Okanagan doing some wine tours, having a little vacation, and they decided to check out some show homes. So they go to these show homes. They go to about 4 or 5 of them, and then they go to the next one, and they walk inside, and there's a dog there. And this guy comes around the corner and greets them, hi. And they go, oh, that's really nice. You get to bring your dog to work. And he kind of looks at them and goes, no, this is my house. So they just randomly walked into this guy's house thinking that it was a show home. They laughed so hard that they actually peed themselves at this guy's house.
Oh, I love
Just to
that.
make it better.
Was he at least nice about it?
He was so nice, they said. He was laughing. They had a good laugh about it. But it was, it was definitely a moment that they should not have been there walking into some random guy's house.
Moments you realized you were in the wrong place.
Megan texted in saying, I've been working as a courier. I had a delivery in the basement of a hospital. I thought I was going the right direction. I turned left instead of right and ended up in the morgue instead of the pharmacy where I was dropping things off.
All right, Rachel, you've got a story for us?
Oh my God. Okay. So about 9-10 years ago, you know, like those home-based parties like candles and epicure and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So I get invited to one, but I have to go to work. So I can't go to it until like way later in the evening, like after dinner. I squeal into my friend's house and I run in. I've got my list of what I want to get. And I sit down with her, but her house is like filled with couples. So I'm sitting there, I'm going through my list, and one of the husbands starts hitting on me. Then I'm like, what are you doing? And I look around the house and I realize I'm in the middle of a swingers party.
And you showed up as a single woman. I think that's the most popular person at the swingers party.
Like a neon Target sign on the top of my head.
So I'm assuming that the multi-level marketing hangout had an end date and you were way past that.
Yeah. I just wanted my Italian and Greek spice. I deked out of there so hard. I'm like, first, I gotta go.
Lisa, why don't you recount what happened when I dropped you off downtown that time and you ended up somewhere you didn't want to be?
I forgot about that. Okay, I was not a part of this. For the record.
Sure looked like it.
I know it did. Ryder drops me off. I'm like, all right, why are there so many people around me on this street right now? It was an anti-mask rally.
And you were...
I didn't have my glasses on, and I'm like, what does that sign say? COVID is a lie? And I was like, oh, I'm in the middle of it. I had to cross the street illegally. I jaywalked.
Everybody's like, why is that chick wearing a mask at the anti-mask rally? I've always been a little confused by the true crime genre, I suppose, of...
Because of how popular it is?
Television and series. Yeah, like...
I think the science behind it is just being more aware of your surroundings. You want to learn more about how these killers worked, their motives.
You grab the popcorn and go and learn on a Friday night about anything else?
100%.
No... It's about being scared, and I think the
No, because I hate scary
endorphins.
shows, but I love true crime.
So you don't like scary fiction. Mm-hmm. You'll fast forward through the scary parts, but you love true crime, and you won't fast forward through that. It's
you
just,
couldn't pay me to watch A Quiet Place. I will never watch that.
This is so interesting
It's
to
too
me.
jumpy.
Apparently, though, there is an advantage to being a true crime fan. I'm just reading that they are much better at taking their home security seriously.
Okay, after I watched The Night Stalker, I would triple, quadruple check the doors to make sure they're locked. Close all the blinds. He was scary, man. That Netflix documentary is next level.
There's another one coming out soon that people are getting pretty pumped up about.
Yep, so May 5th, The Sons of Sam, A Descent into Darkness. This is following the recent success of the true crime shows on Netflix like The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel
Okay.
and The Night Stalker.
That one was interesting. I watched a couple episodes. I really like the detective work in some of the shows, more so than like glorifying the murderer.
I get that.
And like, oh, he's so sexy. Ted Bundy's so sexy.
That stuff's weird to me. I get it.
Really weird. But like, yeah, how they crack the case is always interesting. The unsolved ones I got no time for. It's like there's no closure.
Yeah, you need answers.
Honestly. Another interesting stat that came along with this was that nearly half of people that say they're addicted to true crime feel like they need to clear their head with something funny or lighthearted after watching the show. So you binge a 4-part documentary that, takes up your entire evening, and then you just throw in a quick episode of Schitt's Creek?
How'd you know it was Schitt's Creek?
I've watched you do that exact thing before.
Time to smile.
Play 107.
Check this out. Edmonton, 5th place. Calgary, 31st place. And I'm not talking about the NHL, although it sounds like it.
Okay.
We're talking about the best places to live in Canada, according to Maclean's magazine, over the last year during the pandemic.
We always celebrate when we beat Calgary with things, so...
My finger got sore from scrolling so far to see where they ended up, and I couldn't have been happier. There is a story that is circulating out of Winnipeg that needs some attention.
Yeah, there was a photo of a woman in a grocery store sitting on the bread.
Like just a loaf of bread? Or like
the whole section of bread that is at like hip level?
Sitting on
it. And it said, do you know this person? We're looking for help identifying the cereal bread sitter. This has been an ongoing problem weekly since March. Despite repeated attempts to stop this person, it keeps happening. Police are now involved. She is sitting on the bread. She has her cart, so she's still grocery shopping. But it looks as if she's reading her grocery list, so she's taking a break.
Is it weird that I want to know what kind of bread?
Is it weird that I want to go and try this because it sounds comfortable? If you're going to take a break in a grocery store anywhere...
No, but like a baguette wouldn't be comfortable.
No. This looks like they are the ones that come fresh from their bakery.
You know the soft white Italian bread?
Yes.
Like that, yes. I would...
Or the Texas bread.
I would be inclined to sit on it. Yeah, not the Weight Watcher one.
No, you want like the good Dempsters.
Not too dense.
A good fluffy seat.
I mean, honestly, I can't think of anything that would be more comfortable to sit on than a few loaves of fresh baked bread. But with that said, shouldn't be doing.
No, never.
And like you actually wasting so much food. So if we're going to try this, we're not going to do it at the grocery store, but I would feel comfortable eating a loaf of bread
after you sat on it.
If it was plasticed up and I sat on it with like fresh washed pants, then I just have skushy bread.
So I think that we should buy a bunch of loaves, fresh loaves, and test her out.
It's not going to work real well with like trying to cut out carbs from my diet, though, if I have to go and buy a bunch of loaves of bread.
I feel like if it's squished, it doesn't count as much.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.